to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. In this video, I am going to be colouring from the Eriy World Literature colouring book, and this is a project book with two beautiful friends of mine, both of which have YouTube channels. The first is Geordie at Geordie Colours, and the second lady is Julianne from Julianne Annette Art. I will link both of their channels down below in the description for you, so if you haven't checked them out, please do so. They are both fabulous. So yeah, we are working through this book together, sort of start to finish, and I'm a little bit behind. So I've got this page from a few months ago that I need to come back and finish, but I was just kind of a bit disheartened by this sort of orange and teal here in the background. So I think what I'm going to do is use paint markers and go over these and do them a different colour. So I will come back to that page at some point. Geordie and I had done this one as a buddy colour before we decided to do this book as a project book. And we are now on to this page here, and the only thing I have done is based this mouse here with some polychromos pencils. But what I would like to do to sort of make this page a little bit easier for me and a bit easier on my hands, because I have been doing quite a few sort of pencil pages recently on Amazon paper, so my hands are feeling a little bit sore. I have pulled out my Albrecht Dürer watercolour pencils, and so I thought we would just give this a base of some colours today and just sort of have a little bit of a catch up really. I am aware, for those of you who are participating in the Tales from the Witch's Cottage full book colour along, I am aware that I haven't done a video this month, but as you may be aware, I have been really poorly with flu and bronchitis. So yeah, this month is a bit of a write-off, to be quite honest. So we will get back to that page. I haven't forgotten. We were on the pumpkin patch page. We will come back to that one, I promise. But I haven't got around to sorting out colours for the dress and whatnot. So I will get that onto that, and hopefully that will be, you know, that video will be done really soon. So I'm just going to open my Albrecht Dürer pencils. I've got a pocket tissue there to blot my brush, and I have my Durant water brush here in the fine tip that I will be using. So I think first things first, let's get some colour on this cheese. So I'm just gonna go in and just give it a base of colour at the moment, and I'll build those colours up as we go. So how are you all? How's everyone doing? I hope you're all doing well. So yeah, like I was saying, things here have been kind of rough. I've been poorly since the day before I travelled back from Scotland, so I think this is my is this my third week? 3 weeks today? 3 weeks, 4 weeks today? I think it's 3 weeks today. So yeah. I'm sorry, 3 weeks yesterday. Because I started getting poorly on the Tuesday. And then we finally travelled back the Wednesday. So yeah, and then Caden was poorly with it. Emmy was off school for the last 2 days with it, although she's gone back today. She was feeling better, her temperature's come right down and it's stayed down. So yeah, she said she felt well enough this morning, so I was like, okay, great. So like I said, she's gone to school. But it's never nice, is it? Like seeing your kids poorly, it's never nice. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it really has sort of knocked me sideways. My chest is still bothering me and I have still got a cough, but I'm just glad that sort of like the horrendous headaches and like the hot and cold chills and sweats and stuff, like I'm glad that that's all passed. So it's just my chest now that is taking its time. I haven't really got a colour palette in mind for this page, really. But I'd like to, I'd like to come up with something to at least keep the, the little pot and the jug here, keep that cohesive. So what I'll be doing on this page is basing it with the Albrecht Dürer pencils. I quite like to use some of my Artex acrylic paint pens. I'd like to sort of play around with those a little bit. And then I will also sort of go in and add like shading details and stuff with some pencils. But yeah, this book is absolutely beautiful and it's always such a pleasure to colour in it. But I'm not going to lie, I think that previous page, the fox and the stork or the heron, or goose, I don't know what it is. The fox and the bird, yeah, because I've not been happy with that page, it's kind of put me off colouring in this book. But it's like, let's just make some progress and then I can always come back to that page, and just sort of chip away slowly at it. But I think now I've got a plan in mind to go over those other colours on the wallpaper with paint pens to change the colours. I think I feel a bit happier about it. Now, I'm not in any way under the illusion that I'll get that page finished this month. In November. It's not going to happen, but if I can get that page done by like the end of December, then I'll be happy. The other ladies have finished theirs. They finished their pages of that ages ago, and they've both done such a beautiful, beautiful job with their pages. And here's me sort of, throwing my toys out the pram because I didn't like my colour choices. And it just made me not like the page and not want to come back to it. But yeah, I just thought if I work with the Albrecht Dürer pencils, it gives me a really nice base of colour, and then I can do all the other bits and pieces on top. Once I've got the colour down, I might even use some water-based markers as well. Originally I thought maybe this will just be like a watercolour page, but I know what I'm like. I'm not going to be able to leave it alone. I'm terrible for that. And I do really enjoy using mixed media on my pages. Are any of you guys like that? you know, you like using a mixture of things on your pages. I have been colouring this month, but nowhere near as much as I would like. But saying that, I've also been kind of slowly chipping away at pages that, you know, they've been whips, or they're new pages that I've started that I'm sort of slowly chipping away at. And as I was saying earlier, because some of them are like pencil pages or sort of a base with alcohol marker and then a lot of pencil work, they have taken me a lot longer. But I have enjoyed it. But there's been times where, because I'm just still nowhere near feeling 100%, I've sort of maybe coloured for like 10 minutes and then I'm exhausted and I've sort of had to put it away. So I'm not sure how many pages I will have at the end of this month to show you. But, you know, there'll still be some. There'll still be some, which is better than nothing. And even if it was nothing, it's fine. It just means that, you know, hopefully you'd get more completed pages in December. So December, my channel is going to be turning 7 years old. The 1st of December, which just seems like, oh, it seems crazy to think I've been here on YouTube for 7 years. That's gone like really quick. Really quick. So I do want to do a hashtag or prompt, I don't know, something to sort of celebrate the channel. Now January I always do the Disney birthday bash, so I'm thinking maybe not Disney for December, but yeah, I don't know, I'm trying to think of, you know, what I could do. So I need to get my thinking cap on for that, I think. But as soon as I figure something out, I'll put an announcement on my community tab. So just yeah, keep an eye out, and we'll see what we can come up with. Okay. So let me see. I will do him in polychromos as well, just so that he's got the same kind of texture as hair on him. Let's look at these two jugs. Kind of want to use colours that I haven't used much of already. What about blue? Blue might be nice. Let's go in with what's this one? Light ultramarine. This is my most used Albrecht Dürer pencil by the looks of it. Yeah. So let's see, because I might put some silver accents on here as well. Let me see. Okay, so we'll do the handle. yeah, so like I said, as soon as I figure out something for December, I will let you know. I think our page for December in the Tales from the Witch's Cottage, obviously we need to finish the pumpkin page, pumpkin patch. But I think for December, I'll just choose something that's really quite straightforward and won't take very long at all, because I'm very aware that December is a busy month for a lot of us. You know, and for those of us who are seasonal colorists, you know, we want to sort of get some Christmas pages and festive pages, wintry stuff done. So yeah, our page from our colour along book, our full book colour along, I'll just choose something quite simple, I think, for December. And then maybe January we'll choose something to kind of get our teeth stuck into. So I hope that that sounds okay with you all. As you can see, I'm not being too fussy with my pencil shading. Because this will be activated, but so long as I can get the colour down in a pretty smooth way, then I think we will be good. Okay, let's do this milk jug here. Excuse me. It's a really lovely colour. I will pull in some darker blue in a minute to add some shadows and things. And then I think we'll base our fruit just to sort of get a wash of colour down. I will use my Kuretake watercolours as well, the really beautiful set that I have. I'll use that as well. Because I love those paints so much. So yeah, this will definitely be a mixed media page. I have the new Johanna Basford book, Magical Worlds. And I've started a page in there at the moment with a lovely new friend of mine, the lovely Claire, on Instagram. She reached out and asked if I would do a buddy colour with her. And I was so excited because that book is beautiful. But if you guys would like to see me colour a page on the channel, then please let me know. Because I'd be more than happy to do that for you. Maybe in December we could look at one of the wintry pages in there. It might be, yeah, it might be quite nice. So I'm going to bring this blue as well, just in here, in this little background bit where we've got this swan. Let's bring that over. Like that. And can we pull the blue over here somewhere? Yeah, I think I'm going to bring it onto his jacket. I think I'm going to bring it onto this little guy's jacket here. So we're just moving that blue around the page. So we can have the lighter blue like that, and then maybe the darker blue at the back, make it look a bit like a, yeah, okay. So we've got a little sort of thing here. So that would indicate to me that this is a waistcoat. So what I'm going to do is pull out the next darkest blue, which is ultramarine. And just bring a bit of that in. To give us a bit of a shadow. And I have pulled out the next darkest colour as well. Just in case this doesn't quite give me the depth of shadow that I want. I know that many of you are aware, but for those of you who may not be, the Faber-Castell Albrecht Dürer pencils, they have exactly the same colours as the Faber-Castell Polychromos, the 120 set. So yeah, if you are looking for pencils to kind of match the colours in this set, then the Polychromos, they are it. They are exactly the same colours. So let's just bring some of that darker blue here. And like I said, I'm not being super neat with this, but I'm still at the same time trying to keep it relatively smooth. I'm sorry for turning the page, just need to get to this bit. Please excuse the psoriasis on my arm as well. I had a bit of a flare-up with my skin. I think just from being run down where I've been poorly. And then we'll put some of that dark blue, just a little bit, like around Swan, a little smidge. And then we'll put some on our little milk jug. Okay, bring it down here. maybe a bit here, just under the rim of the jug there. Okay, and then for our little mouse's waistcoat here, I'll go in with this, but I think I'm going to do this slightly darker colour on every other stripe. Like so, but then also use it as a bit of a shadow under the pocket and under here. And then I'm going to go in with the next darkest colour, which is cobalt blue, and I'm going to use this. For this back bit. And then I'm going to go in with Indanthrone blue and use this as our darkest colour here on the waistcoat. On the back of the jacket like that. It's nice to just sort of carry these colours around the page. It just keeps it cohesive. And you're sort of evening out the colour there by bringing whatever you have over here, moving it over to this page, to this side of the page as well. I'll give him a dark pocket. Let's give him a blue hat as well. Like so. And I might do his bow tie to match a colour over here, or maybe post something from her outfit onto him a bit later. But I think what I would like to do at the moment is just activate these colours that we've got down so far and just see how they are looking. So just make sure I've got water coming out of my brush. Is this the fine tip, or is that looks like a bit of a, I don't know, maybe a medium, I'm not sure. But I'm just gonna, if I zoom you in so you can see a little bit better, I'm just gonna activate this by moving my brush in small circles. A bit too much water. You know, this doesn't have to be perfect, but it'll give us a really lovely base. Now, whenever I'm working with watercolours or Inktense, anything like that, I always try to work from the lightest to the darkest. but sometimes it's a little bit tricky, and that's fine. You know, you can always tidy that back up. So it's only because if you work from your darkest colour into your lightest, you're pulling that darker pigment, and then it's going to kind of cancel out any highlight that you might have been trying to keep. Whereas if you go from your lightest to darkest, you're keeping quite a bit. That's just, you know, what I've found. But at the same time, this brush is like blotting. At the same time, I know everybody works differently. We've all got our own way of doing things. But I think sometimes it's nice to sort of see or hear about how other people work, because you might just pick up, you know, a little random hint or tip or trick. You know. So this isn't looking wonderful at the moment, but that's okay. Oh, whoops. Like I said, that's fine because I'll be using other mediums as well, and you know, working over the top. I just wanted this as kind of like to give me a base of colour and kind of, you know, get rid of the white of the paper, get rid of the tooth of the paper for me. And it's doing that beautifully. And this actually feels lovely because I haven't used my Albrecht Dürers in a while, so it's always nice to go back and just use and enjoy the supplies that you have in your arsenal. Okay. But what have you guys been working on? What have you been colouring or crafting? I'd love to hear what you've all been up to. Okay. Now let's activate this cheese. Wow, that is bright. Maybe I should have gone with a bit more of a pastel yellow, but that's all right. Okay. Oh, it is so satisfying when you activate, you know, your watercolor pencils, your Neo 2s, anything like that. It's just so lovely because you look at the colors here and you think, oh, you know, pretty muted. They look, you know, they look pretty, but as soon as you add water, it's just like, wow, those colors really come alive. It's just lovely to watch. It's just so satisfying. go in with the darker areas. Beautiful. Okay. We are getting there, slowly but surely. Okay. Make sure I've got all the yellow off. Excuse me. And then we'll come down here and start activating this little milk jug. So we've got that beautiful sort of deeper blue here, which is gorgeous. So this will look a little bit rough around the edges at the moment, but I think it'll all come together really nicely actually. And I think you get quite a lot of sort of instant gratification doing things like this, because you can get a really good layer of colour down as your base in a short space of time. So I think a lot of us we like that instant satisfaction of seeing a lot of colour on a page, you know, knowing that we haven't spent hours and hours on it. You know, mentioning my Neo Colour 2s just now, I don't use them very often at all, so I'm kind of tempted to bring those in and maybe use those in the background. Maybe do something with those. Oh, that would be quite fun. Let's get a little bit more water coming out. Okay. And there we go, that's better. Okay. So that's that based at the moment. And then let's move over here and we'll just make a start on this little chap's waistcoat. So I'll do the lightest stripes first. Okay, and then we'll go in with the next darkest. one. And we'll do his pocket. We've got that beautiful deep indanthrum blue. It's gorgeous. It's like a dark denim sort of colour. It's really, really lovely. And we've got that here on the back of his waistcoat as well. I think we've got that and ultramarine. And we'll go in and do the hat as well. I think he's looking really cute. Okay, so let's just give that brush a bit of a rinse off as well. Okay, so let's just zoom out a little bit. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do, I know I said I was going to come in and baste the fruit and stuff as well, but I think what I'm going to do is leave this here for a minute. I will let the page dry, and I will work on this some more off camera. But yeah, hopefully the next time you see this page, it will either be done and you will see it in November completed pages, or it will be almost done and you will see it in December. But yeah, I'm happy with how this looks so far. The blue, you know, like I said, is a bit sort of rough and ready, but it's a base of colour, and that was kind of my aim of this. So yeah, thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, whatever it is you are up to. Take care, stay safe my loves, and I'll see you in the next one. Lots of love. Bye.